First up, we're going to have Dan Eskow coming from Jersey, giving operating advice how to hire smart in Web3. And as I did yesterday, fun fact about Dan, he actually has a cigar collection of over 1,000 cigars. Pretty impressive. So please welcome Dan Eskow.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you, Will. Appreciate you, bro. Salute, Near. What's up, Lisbon? Thanks for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. So the topic for the talk this afternoon is going to be, how to hire effectively in Web3. And we're directing this really not towards candidates, but we're directing this towards founders. So here's, I'm going to break down a couple of best practices for you to be effective. And I'm really gearing this towards early stage projects that are looking to, make their first couple of key hires. That's kind of what I specialize in. So to kick this off, I think if you leave this talk with one takeaway, it should be this. Hiring is not about selling an opportunity. It's about understanding what's important to the person you're evaluating. Let me run that back one time. Hiring is not about selling an opportunity. It's about understanding what's important to the candidates you're evaluating, right? And to break that down and unpack it just a little bit further, I think from there, there's two things that are important. Number one, as a founder, you need to be self-aware. And what I mean by that is you need to understand kind of where your project stands in the ecosystem. And you need to understand what are the pros and cons and selling points that you have. So you need to understand, if you're a candidate, what other opportunities are they going to be interviewing for that's competitive, and how can you kind of leverage what your strengths are to make that opportunity attractive, right? And so to take it one step further, you need to understand some of the most important things that candidates consider when they're looking at taking a new job. And a few of the things that come to mind to me: stability, base salary, culture. What's the vibe? Stability. Is this company going to exist in 6 months to a year? How can you prove to me that this company is going to stay around? Salary, can I pay my bills? Culture, how am I going to feel every day at work? What's the vibe? Am I going to be happy doing this? Brand and reputation, am I going to get some clout for, updating my LinkedIn with this? Are people going to show me love and respect the work that I'm doing? That's important, especially in non-technical roles, right? And then the other thing I would say is opportunity to learn and grow. So for a technical example, is what I'm building going to teach me a new set of skills that's going to build on what I already have to make me a more well-rounded candidate in the future, right? For a non-technical role like a salesperson, is this an opportunity for me to meet a different part of the space, a different niche, and grow my network in that side, right? So I think all that stuff is really important. And I actually just last week put out a survey to about 15,000 people who have applied to my jobs. And I asked them to rank those things in order of importance. And I don't know if anyone could take a guess of what was by far number one. Well, you would think, but actually it was salary, believe it or not, right? It was salary. And to jump off that a little bit, I think it's an important point that, founders need to understand that they need to share in the financial risk with the candidate, right? I can't tell you how many times I speak to a founder and they're like, oh, we want someone who's motivated by the upside. We want someone who wants equity, tokens. Cool. They also have bills to pay. And subliminally, subconsciously, the message that you're sending is that I want you to take all the risk, candidate. I'm not going to invest in you. I want you to invest in me. No, that's not how it works. We have to share in this, right? And there's always a compromise to be made. People in this industry that are even at all looking at early stage projects, they understand there's upside to be had. And it's incumbent upon you, the founder, to show that value, but also show them that, hey, I'm right here with you taking this risk. I don't have $57 million right now. I have $3 to $5 million, and I'm willing to spend it on you. And here's why, So show that this person is important to you. That's really, really important. So, in addition to that, another major red flag that I see very, very often from founders is the mindset of I don't want to waste my time speaking to 100 candidates to make 3 or 4 hires. I don't want to waste my time in 30-minute calls. I want to do a quick 15-minute screen. Or maybe I don't even want to do that. I want to send you a test or something before we even speak, right? And that's a huge, huge, huge red flag to me, because what does that tell me? That you, the founder, the hiring manager, are not investing your time in making this hire. And so when you tell me it's a waste of your time, I tell you, I couldn't disagree more. Like, bro, you should be spending more time. Like, if this isn't important to you, and you can't turn hiring into an algorithm. There's just too many variables. You can't like build a system to where you're only gonna get the top 5 people that's not how it works here, especially in early stage projects. And you have to go into this knowing like this is important to you, and you're willing to like, invest your own time and money in this, right? And so I'll give you another point, and to illustrate this point, I'll use an example. One of my favorite clients that I love to pump their bags and I love to talk about and I love to work with is Berachain. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Berachain. Super fun team, super fun project, right? I'll tell you one thing that Berachain did that was I really respected it, and I would love to see more of this, right? And what I think they do is they bet on themselves. They bet on their instincts, and they're willing to take calculated risks, taking calculated risk. And what do I mean by that? So let's take a scenario, right, where like, let's say you're interviewing for a BD role. You're interviewing BD candidates, and you have 2 resumes up in front of you. I don't want to lose my mic here, but you have 2 resumes up in front of you, right? And you're interviewing 2 candidates. One of them is, let's say he worked at Chainlink. He was the director of BD at Chainlink, and before that he was at Coinbase, and he's got a crazy network, and he could list all these people that will take the calls with him and everything like that, right? But you interview him and he sucks. He or she sucks. They're a dud. You bad vibes. You feel like I don't know if this is gonna work out, but damn, that resume looks good. Damn, I know he or she could book me some really impactful meetings, right? And then you have another candidate who has a product background. Now, this really happened. I wish I could dox the actual person, but you know how Berachain is. So let's say the candidate has a product background, but he or she is cool as hell. They know people. They're smooth. They're great socialized, great in social settings, and they know how to like deliver a message, right? That's what BD people do. Deliver messages effectively, capture people's attention, and make shit happen, right? 99.9% of the time, companies are going to go with the first option, even though in their gut, in their heart, they know this is a dud. They know this is a mistake. But why are they making that choice? Because it feels less risky, right? And they can justify it easier to investors, right? They'll look at their investors and say, oh, look, I got a guy from Chainlink. You know this guy sucks, but you hired him anyway because it was less risky. Berachain bets on their own instincts. They bet on themselves. They know, all right, this product guy, he's never done BD before, but I could see it in him, and I know what I'm looking for, and that he's got that fire, and I could work with that, right? And for me, I'm really, really bullish on teams that know what they're looking for and know how to curate and cultivate and build someone up. And those are the people that are going to work 100x for you and help you grow. And the reality is, if you're an early stage project struggling to hire, frankly, like you might not have a choice. But I see it time and time again that, people waste a ton of time trying to go with the big A+ superstar when that's not always realistic, and it's not always the best choice anyway. So point of what I just said, take calculated risks, understand what you need, and bet on yourself. If you're a founder, and those are the founders that are going to win in the long run. That's my thought on that. Let's see, what else? Another thing, on the topic of Berachain that they do extremely well is they've amplified their culture, right? I mean, everyone, if you do one quick scroll on Berachain Twitter, you'll understand what the vibe is. And I think they've really leaned into that as a selling point. Doesn't hurt to have $42 million in the bank, but the culture definitely is a huge, huge selling point for them. And I think, I think every startup needs to kind of lean into what the vibe is and build off that. Okay, let's see, what else? And so, okay, and another thing that I've noticed a few times that has been like a winner for early stage companies is when they like educate candidates during the interview process. So let me give you another example here. Can't name the shop, but I have a crypto trading shop that's doing some cool stuff on DeFi, and I had a candidate, PhD from Berkeley, former Hudson River Trading, former Alameda. Beast, top 1% trader candidate, probably like a $7 million a year kind of guy, right? And he, after a couple of interviews with this company, he said, you know, I'm offended by this offer. It's $200K base. Like, dude, you know I made $7 million last year, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, but dude, everyone loves this company. I don't know, you might be missing something. Take one more call with the founder. And what this founder was able to do on that call is basically teach him something about Ethereum that the candidate wasn't aware of, and it unlocked his vision about that company, and he saw the potential. And when I first spoke to him, I said to my guys, 20% chance this guy accepts the offer. He's so negative about this, never gonna happen. Completely turned around after that call. And to bring it back full circle, from what I heard, that was a 3-hour call that they went on to explain the vision and explain what this guy was missing as far as the Ethereum knowledge. And full circle, that's an investment of time in that hiring manager to teach a lesson to that person. And don't assume just because the candidate doesn't know one thing about what you're building that he's not legit. You know, don't assume that they know everything. Spend the time, teach them something, and hopefully they'll come around to see what you see. But I think that's most of what I got here today. Again, appreciate the time. Salute to Near. Thanks for having me. And I'm around for the rest of the day. If anyone has questions or wants to hit me up, you know where to find me. Salute. Thank you.